What's up, everybody? I am very excited because Jacksepticeye is here. It was like in December when everyone on Twitter was saying they're tagging you, and I was like, fuck this shit, I'm going to try it. You were nice enough to come on, and we're going to talk about video music.
I'm very excited. I mean, I've seen some of your stuff in the past when I've been looking up some of my favorite songs, and you've reacted to them. Yeah, so cool. I just like messing around with people, and I like jumping into places that I'm not normally there, and I'm a lot more attentive to what people are saying than they think is happening, so I just like kind of fucking with people's heads a little bit. Yeah, I'm excited to be here. This is cool.
We were talking earlier, but I know you love Bloodborne, so I had to.
Yeah, my Bloodborne shirt's in the wash. I was literally wearing it like 2 days ago, and it's not ready yet, so.
It's fine. You have your tattoo that's forever in the wash and not.
It'll never come out.
So basically, the goal today is to listen to a bunch of music, talk about it, listen to the tracks, explain how we feel. Now, if I recall, you were in a band and you're a musician yourself.
I was, and funnily enough, while I was waiting, everything got jumbled up. So I was like, okay, I have like 45 minutes to waste, and I was sitting at my double bass drum kick pad, and I was like practicing my feet. And then you get all sweaty, and I'm like, oh, now I'm glistening. I'm ready. I'm in the musical headspace, which is literally me just going over and over again for like an hour.
God, the double bass drum. I had a buddy that actually ended up becoming a tattoo artist in music school, and
tracks.
The only mosh pit I've ever been to was for his band, the Chicago Typewriters, and like I remember watching this dude just like, well, you know, percussionists. You know, it's like there was like some Christmas concert that they did at my music school, and it was like Trans-Siberian Orchestra, you know, the Carol of the Bells.
Yeah.
It's like, I remember somebody afterwards saying, oh, how was it? And they were like, well, you know, percussionists doing what they do. Just like...
If you know, you know, but if you don't, then it could be nails on chalkboard for some people.
Dude, I mean, double bass drum is so sick.
I'm an okay drummer. A lot of people like to sing my praises for it, and it's very sweet, but... Being a musician, you always kind of like know your ceiling, and you know how far it can go and where your limits are, so I'm always a bit more apprehensive to toot my own horn in it. So double bass drumming was the only thing that I was always very confident in when I was younger. When I played in a band and I went to gigs in college and other drummers were there and they were like, man, how do you do that? And I was like, okay, I'm doing something good. But then they would do something with their hands that I'm like, I don't know how to do that. That's cool.
I think that was one of the things I struggled with the most, like in my professional time, was just like, man, this sucks.
Yeah.
Like this could be so much, and you know, the concept of like everyone's like their biggest critic, and yes, fine, but also when you know it's bad or you know your limits, it's true. And
yeah, and it kind of just makes you not want to practice. You know how much work you have to put in to get past that hurdle to get into the next phase. And
have you ever connected to video game music in a deep way? Has it been like a cornerstone of experience for you?
God, how do I talk about this without sounding pretentious as fuck or cliched?
Pretentious, fuck it.
I'm such an empathetic person that like I just get absorbed into any piece of art that like if it's a movie, if it's a game, if it's the music, like just regular ass music. Sometimes it just depends on the headspace you're in, and it just really absorbs you. And like you were saying before we started filming, that sometimes it's just the emotion. It's not even like related to a game you even like. It's not even a game that maybe you've even played. You just heard a piece of music somewhere and you're like, I like to think very visually. So it's like I get just a very broad sense of what's going on. I come up with my own sort of backgrounds, and I'm like, oh, this is moody, and it's just really cool to like be in that space. And like if I ever need to act in a thing or get to a certain place or whatever, it's like, okay, now I have my list of songs that get me there. What's your triumphant song? What's your sad song? What's your moody song? I just love that stuff. I think music is so transcendental, and it's one of the most purest form of art, I think. I think so too. Again, to go fully pretentious on it, I think it's something that can evoke so much out of people that I think it's sort of a miracle it gets made at all.
I mean, most of the composers I've ever interacted with are very dead. So interacting with modern composers is sort of fascinating. Like, you know, like a guy like Austin Wintory or something. And it's like, how the hell do you do this?
Yeah, I love Austin. I'm looking for an excuse to work with him on anything. He's magical. I love him. And he's so nice as well.
Oh, he's so nice.
Yeah, fuck that guy. You can't have it all, man. Give something else.
Can you just give...
You shut up for a second. Let me catch up a little bit.
I was actually just thinking about making a video titled I Am a Freak. And because I love... I don't know if it's because of my like background, but like I find the context, no context debate endlessly interesting, because like a lot of people in the gaming space really feel like, you know, you can't listen to XYZ without having experienced it, or obviously things are elevated when they're experienced in the game.
Sure.
But I grew up for 14 years listening to music before seeing the shows. It's almost like when you listen to a piece for the first time, it's like that Robert Frost poem, stopping on the snow, whatever the fuck, the snowy evening. I don't know why I referenced it. I don't even know.
This is music. It's not poetry. Fuck that.
Point being that like the more you listen to a piece, the more you start to like connect the dots, and it becomes a sort of like journey for yourself to like. I remember this with Coldplay music. I listen, when Coldplay would put out a new album, and it'd be like, this song sucks, and then I'd keep listening to it, be like, this song rocks, that moment. But I love listening to stuff out of context first.
I mean, that's sort of the beauty of it, isn't it? I'm sure the people who made it would also be like, hey, if you're getting your own interpretation out of this, then that's the reason I'm making it. And some of the best music sometimes is you just go away and you imagine what this means, even if that's just a feeling or a thought. It might not be the intention that they have, but if you connect to it, then
that's all that matters.
Who really cares?
Well, anyway, why don't we start with you? What was the first song you brought?
My first song is a song that you've listened to on your channel.
Okay.
And it's the Ludwig, the Accursed Blade. I think, and this is no exaggeration, that I think this is the best piece of video game music that's ever been made. And I know, again, this is all personal preference, but I think about the soundtrack for Bloodborne, which there's no misses. Everything in it is phenomenal. But it feels like a piece of work that belongs to something that is just so much grander than it is. I mean, I love Bloodborne, but people sometimes look down on video games. And I'm like, if you listen to this soundtrack, tell me that belongs in a video game. Yeah. Like, it's so much bigger. It's so much grander. It feels like modern, like classical music. It feels like something that really gets the juices going. It gets your emotions flared up. The stuff about it being like a waltz and like it's a dance with the character, and it plays into what is actually happening in the game, going from madness to like that symmetry and the harmony of it.
The horse with the trumpets.
Yes. Oh,
I know.
It's so good. I mean, it's going to be hard listening to this when all the blood is not in my head anymore, but it's just a phenomenal piece of work. Other songs in other games are like, this is a really great song and it works well for the sort of premise, like Kakariko Village and Zelda or whatever. Like, it all works really well. But this one, I feel like really, it's everything. It's more than the sum of its parts. It's everything together. It works so well.
I think of the entire lexicon of FromSoft compositions. I have to say that I think this is the one that is most legitimate to like the classical space. I hate saying that. And
yeah, I know what you mean though. I love Dark Souls and I love Elden Ring and I love all of them, but sometimes a lot of the songs in them get a bit fatiguing. Yeah. It's a lot of just like big horns, big drums, and a big choir just yelling at you. And it works for the game and in the moment, in the height of the battle. But when you listen to it outside of that, Bloodborne is the only one where I feel like it ebbs and flows really well. And it really gives you a sense of what the game is.
Yeah. 1,000,000%. 1,000,000%.
I haven't embarrassed myself yet. This is great.
I literally brought this because now I got to change my selection. Also, my mother called me. If she calls me again, I may have to answer. She's an Italian mom, so she gets a little bit agitated.
I understand.
Can you hear that?
Yeah.
Also, the dissonance is just, oh, God.
That's what I was about to say. Yeah, the dissonance. Yeah.
It's crazy.
These are all the things where I'm like, I feel this all the time, but I don't know the words for it or...
Oh, yeah.
It's just so moody.
So moody. But because you have the violin or the cello and then the male chorus digging in that...
Yeah. Thing. It's gritty. It's dark. Also, a cello is my favorite instrument of all time. I like a dark, growling cello.
It's cool, too, because then the... Ugh. I know.
I mean, come on.
I still get goose. I actually just got goosebumps. Still.
I know. I always said if I saw this live, I would shit myself. Or I would just bawl my eyes out. Every fluid would leave my body.
But then here, this pullback is so incredible because it's like, again, it's like, hair just that thin.
It's really trying to like build up.
Yeah. Because it's stacking on top of itself, right?
And all the while you're fighting for your life in the middle of this. It's pure chaos.
It's also kind of sad, isn't it? I mean, like the whole thing.
Yeah. I mean, his whole story is sad.
Yeah.
What he's become.
Here, I'll fast forward to the...
Yeah, it's also one of those things where they like it has to loop for the game depending on how long you're in the phase. Because for anyone without context, he's hoarse, he's chaos, he's not himself anymore, he's not the man he used to be, and he was very well respected in the past. We're still going.
Also, the way that the cello kind of slides and
Yeah.
it's just like kind of slithery.
It kind of like gets you in where phase 2 is going to happen, where it's kind of like we're kind of flowing a little bit.
And actually, this is crazy. The upper sopranos always...
It's so cool.
Yeah, it's really disturbing right off the top, though.
Yeah, and then it means even more when you actually read what the lyrics mean, and
Also, the subtle momentum build. Also, we don't have to talk during these, by the way, if you just want to vibe and listen.
no, I like talking.
Ah, the horns.
And now we're full like dance mode. And 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. It's full waltz.
And the way that the trombones and stuff have that little...
Because in this phase of the thing, he's fully upright and he's a lot more together. And all the dodging is all around. I mean, come on! Oh, I got goosebumps again!
I know.
It feels like I'm in like Dracula's house.
Yeah. God.
Like it's like, okay, let's pull back a little and then we'll go again.
Yeah. But it's like, it's not like a good thing, you know?
No. If anything, the longer this song is going on, the worse you're doing at the fight. It's one of those things that when you're in the middle of the battle, you don't really hear it because you're so focused on everything else, but you know it's there. It's adding to the atmosphere. Yeah. It's just the best piece of music I've ever seen for a game. It's because of everything else we've said. That's why this is the first one, because this is the one I could probably talk about the most. That everything in that DLC is amazing, but he's considered one of the best boss fights that they've ever made. He has one of the coolest stories. It's something you've heard about a lot. He's based on his horse version is based on a thing from Berserk, which, come on.
Oh, is it? What arc in Berserk? I've started reading that loosely. I
think the horse shows up during the eclipse.
Okay.
But there's a very like clear, like single panel of that horse, like monster version. And if you see it, it's like, oh, that's just Ludwig, like 1-to-1.
Yeah.
It's just incredible. You get his sword at one point in the game and it's this like, it's heavy, but then it can be light.
Yeah.
It's just everything about it just builds upon itself. It all kind of like circles around to be like the perfect piece.
What is it about Bloodborne to you that like speaks to you so much? For me, it's the first game FromSoft game I actually finished. And that's why I love it.
That's the case for a lot of people. I know a lot of people love Dark Souls 2 because it's the first one they played. Dark Souls 1 was the first one I played, and that was my favorite game of all time until Bloodborne came out, and Bloodborne just seemed to be all of the things they wanted to do at that time perfected. It wasn't as kind of like clunky as some of their other games. The story was perfected. The pace of it was incredible. The gameplay was incredible. It just, all the pieces that they wanted to do all fit right in. And I think even Miyazaki himself said that it's still the thing that he thinks distills what he wants out of these games down to like the perfect point.
Yeah.
I don't think it really gets better than this. It gets different, but I think this is the one that everything just flows so well. I don't think there's anyone that would play this and be like, yeah, this is kind of poor. Like, if you play Dark Souls 1, I could understand maybe it's a little clunky, it's a little old. Elden Ring, maybe there's a bit too much of it. Like, the open world is a bit too much for people. But this one is just, it's the pinprick.
Also, the fact that you're collecting the madman's knowledge, is that what it's called? Yeah.
Yeah.
And then like halfway through, all of a sudden you're like, oh, wait, what the fuck is this shit?
Yeah. And I'm just a big fan of like cosmic stuff in general and how the world changes as you're going through. The more you know, the less you probably should. And that pulling back the veil of the world is I think that kind of like transcends everybody, whether it be just people in general or a cosmic eldritch entity. I think that like what's really going on under the surface of this world is always really cool to me.
We were watching Independence Day yesterday and I was thinking, I don't know why.
That's a very sharp turn.
And, I just love America. Okay. No.
When I saw the mothership, I really thought.
I was thinking about what you mentioned. Like, what else is out there? Like, what do we not know? You know, and the curiosity, I think, is like the open-mindedness is so important. I think even not just necessarily for space and the cosmic, but also for like life itself. Like, there's so many things that I think like if we start to actually like question things, like why do they choose, even in the case of music, like why do they choose to use the trombone? Why do they use the cello? Why not the violin? Like, I don't know. Like, asking questions like that can expand the thought process of like, I don't know. Life is so actually interesting, and I feel like oftentimes. Yeah,
and I think that's what's so prominent about good art is like the more you dig in, the more you get out of it. You can listen to it 100 times, and you'll hear an instrument that you didn't hear before.
It's always different.
Yeah, and the more you get accustomed to the piece, the more the emotion kind of like shifts with it. The violins become, maybe they're a little tearful, maybe they're crying, or like, it's just cool.
It can feel pedantic though, which is funny. Like until you recognize that the value in that, you can kind of be like, okay, why am I, especially, I mean, in music schools, like in music, you know, in rehearsals and stuff, it's like, why are you constantly like, why are we doing this over and over and over? It's like, well, actually, there's depth with, you don't ever hear the same thing twice. It's really astute. It's true. Now I've learned that you love Final Fantasy IX as much as I love Final Fantasy IX.
I know.
Okay, well, you tell me why
it's the best game ever.
100%. Why?
It comes back to, again, a lot of, it's like, what's your first FromSoft game? What's your first Final Fantasy game? It always, like, for a lot of people, that was 7. 7 wasn't my first. 9, I played 9, and then I played 8, and I didn't play 7 until years later. Would that be my favorite if I played it first? Maybe. But I also just love medieval settings the most. I really like that sort of pulled away. I like my black mages to be black mages. I don't like when everybody can do everything in the gameplay. I like sort of picking my party that way. I like how pure it is in that sense. And I'd never played the previous ones before 7, so I didn't know they were coming back to what the originals kind of were. And I played it, I think, when I was like 10 years old. It was probably one of the first games that ever made me cry with its ending. It was just like a really nice, happy ending as well, so it was cool. And Vivi I think is still one of my favorite characters ever in a video game. I think he's probably one of the best written, and his arc is really nice. It just kind of ticked all the boxes. I like the combat quite a bit. I like the monster designs. I like Zidane's blades into his twin blade. It was the first time I'd ever been exposed to something like that. It just, it blew my mind wide open. And until then, I'd only played stuff like a Metal Gear Solid 1. I wasn't really accustomed to Japanese developers until then. They became like my favorite side of the gaming industry to get involved in. I think most of my stuff are all either Japanese or Japanese inspired. A lot of my favorite games are from Japanese developers, so it made me feel soft and warm and cozy, and it opened my mind to like a bigger world, and games were more about stories at that point than just about the mechanics. So it did a lot of things right at the right age, I think.
It's true. I love the brightness of it. I tend to gravitate towards brightness. There's plenty of like deeply depressing shit that I used to sing, and always related to like, oh god, my life sucks, you know, but
all tragedy.
All tragedy. Yeah, there was definitely a spell. Maybe it's because I'm medicated now, but everything I'm like, I love bright things. But yeah, no, Final Fantasy IX is really special. I think like I actually replayed it last year just on my own time, and I like wept at the ending. What I find so shocking about Final Fantasy IX is that I think people get distracted by the cute art style and the, you know, the warm tones, which I think are so excellent. And then halfway through, all of us, and I love existential crises. I love existential crises. Halfway through, you're like knee deep in like, what is the purpose of life? Like, why
Yeah.
am I alive? Am I meant to do something before I die? And something about that is like, check mark.
Yeah, it is a game all about identity. Every single character goes through, and it maybe falters a little bit, like disc 3-ish, where like Amaranth comes in. Maybe he's not disc 3, but like,
Yeah.
he's not as fleshed out as some of the others. Freya kind of takes a backseat after her thing is wrapped up. Like, there's obvious faults in it. And God, that final boss, let's not get started about how just the cosmos itself comes down and it's like, okay, cool. Let's not just end on like one of the best villain that's ever been in the series, but
I see you like male thongs as well. Yes. Kuja's piano theme is like to die for.
Well, good segue, because that's the song I picked.
Wait, are you serious? Wait,
yeah.
I thought I brought You're Not Alone. Well, we'll listen to both.
See, I struggled because I didn't want to pick some of the biggest ones. And like Vivi's theme is amazing. The Jester's theme is amazing.
Yeah. Oh my God.
I love Steiner's theme. I used to use it in like old YouTube videos when I needed like a bumbling drunk kind of feeling. Kuja's one, I'm just like, I feel like it gets overlooked a lot. So I just brought that. Okay. And it wasn't until like a couple of years ago that I realized that not only is it my favorite Final Fantasy, but Sakaguchi and Uematsu also said it was their favorite Final Fantasy.
Right.
And it was like the swan song of the PS1 era. It's like, it just has a lot going for it.
Well, let me change mine then. Let me change it to Gizamaluke's Grotto. Remember this?
Yes, I do.
I think this is technically Freya's theme.
Yeah, like Burmecia as well.
Yeah.
There's a very like dark, brooding, rainy.
Oh, I love Burmecia. Oh, God.
And I think it might actually be Gizamaluke's Grotto that I'm thinking of. It's one of those ones where it's like, I know the song, and then it's not until you hear it, it's like, oh, right, that's that one.
Yeah. I also think it kind of represents like Fratley in a way.
Yeah.
Fratley's like, I don't know, he's a hero, you know, like, because he loses. Anyway, this is becoming.
Yeah, but it's that kind of like yearning, I think this song kind of has. It's very far off. It's very distant. It's kind of like reminiscent of her thoughts.
Also, the undulating pattern is so fun because it's angsty, you know?
Yeah.
And she's also really honorable.
Yeah, she's one of my favorite characters as well. I actually painted a model of her, like, in November last year.
Oh.
I love her so much. I always have a little bit of a hard time picking out what that main instrument is, the melody. Is it a flute? It's very deep. But it's all like synthetic instruments, so it's kind of hard to know what it is.
Maybe a clarinet. Or an English horn. So like a...
Yeah.
Da, 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 ya, da, 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 da.
Yeah, it's very regal sounding. And it also helps because a lot of songs for these types of games back then, you needed a good repetitive pattern instead of getting like really annoying to listen to. Like you're in this area for a long time, so you have to hear it over and over.
So it's interesting out here. It starts to stack in the intensity with the strings kind of hitting these sharp tones here, while we still have the melody playing. And you're right. There is this like angst, and the melody is actually quite beautiful. And there's I don't know, I kind of think of femininity to it, you know, like subtle.
But she's also not the most feminine character, and I think that kind of like plays into her whole vibe as well.
Yes, yeah.
I mean, even her introduction is Zidane hitting on her because he's such a womanizer. And then she kind of like turns around and is like, fuck you.
Oh, I forgot about the organ here. And I think it's also like... and
then it like releases at the end of this.
So good.
Not yet. I'm waiting for it.
There.
That.
Yeah, so nice.
It's so angelic. We've ascended.
Yeah, I mean,
There's always that sort of like darkness underneath it. Because it's also her homeland. She yearns for that. She wants everything to kind of like be back the way it was, and the places she goes and the things she has to fight. And she's a bit lost.
1,000,000%. I do think that there's a purity in the sound too. Like it's not so, it's interesting because I agree with you. And then also there's the sound in the melody specifically of hope. Even though it's like, like kind of like, I remember I was doing some mindfulness stuff like a couple of years ago, and I was listening to Headspace, and they were talking about how like when there are clouds, or like when you fly in an airplane, it's like the clouds, it's dreary, rainy. You go up, and then the sun is there, and I think that's kind of how
it feels like. That's what the resolution to that organ part feels like.
Yeah.
Or like where she wants to be, but then it comes back, and it's like, well, we're not there yet.
Nature, yeah. I love Kuja's theme, so after you. It's definitely my favorite. One Winged Angel, so I play Final Fantasy VII first, and I think it was definitely the doorway in, but it wasn't until I heard the lower piano, and at this point in my life, I'd been obsessed with piano anyway. Have you ever heard the piano covers of Final Fantasy IX?
I went through a phase of piano covers of everything, so I'm sure I've looked up a lot of them, yeah.
There's a really, really good one from the... Oh my God, what's it called? It's the Final Fantasy small ensemble. They do the song, the Clara's Clara?
Yeah, Clara.
The dance, the harvest dance.
Oh yeah.
Ba, 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 ba. Hearing that on piano, dude, it's so cool. Anyway.
Okay. I'll have to look that up afterwards.
Yeah, it's so good.
So Kuja, for context, also, I'm sorry that if people are annoyed of me talking over all of this all the time, I encourage you to please go out and listen to the songs. Otherwise, it's just going to be us sitting here going, uh-huh.
It's nice.
But he's the villain.
Oh, that's my favorite.
And you immediately know he's the villain.
Yeah.
Like we're all over on the left side of the piano on this song.
I love how low this is, yeah.
And he's also beautiful. And he knows he's beautiful. I won't get into spoiler territory of why and how and all that kind of stuff, but he's also just a lost little boy.
He really is a lost little boy.
Yeah.
He really at this point, there's very little redemption in his character,
Yeah.
I don't want to spoil it, but
It's just when he shows up, you know shit's about to go down.
yeah.
This is like, why do I hear boss music? But he always just like shows up and he like flicks his hair.
I know.
And he's so reserved. He's never like fast. And the song is reserved as well. It just kind of like pulls back and takes its time.
I love his dragon too, the silver dragon.
Yeah. I wish he was just the final fight. I wish it just stopped there. Thematically, it just makes the most sense. It was back when we didn't have like Gwyn at the end of Dark Souls 1, where they like had the guts to sort of like make a final boss kind of easy.
True.
But yeah, it's basically that same loop over and over again, but it's just, it sets the mood.
Sephiroth and Final Fantasy VII is one of these things where I'm not a big fan of the remakes. I don't really
like them either.
The artistic vision of them is great, but I just think like I guess I'm become, maybe we call this episode the Unk episode.
Yeah, Unk and Chopped. I just don't have time for that much game.
Yeah, I'm noticing that about myself too. It's kind of sad.
Yeah.
I feel like Sephiroth, like he's scary, but not in the, it's interesting though, because I think in some ways Kuja is, I can't tell like which one of them is more menacing. I mean, I think musically, I think this is more menacing to me than even like, there's the song when Sephiroth understands his connection to Genova and, in Nibelheim, like, but there's something about this particular theme that just like, because of the lower register and then the like kind of sad, angry, melancholic music in the right hand, like there's something about that that's like, oh shit, this guy's actually kind of tense, even though you look at him and he's like, the most beautiful man on the earth. Like, he's
very androgynous. Yeah, I know what you mean. I think they were definitely trying to make like a Sephiroth 2.0 maybe when they were making him, but Sephiroth is just, I mean, he's the GOAT. He's the all-time.
He's the guy.
You're never really going to get a better villain. Well, actually, Kefka's pretty sick. But I think Kefka, Sephiroth, and Kuja are definitely like the three best villains they did, because they knew when to like make them big and badass and scary, but when to kind of like pull them back and they're not cartoons.
Yeah, 1,000,000%.
I just think he's cool. I mean, there's so many. There's like Garland's song as well in this when his ship shows up, and I like the oompa oompa of like Fossil Roo as well. It's just, everything's just nice. And all the songs just fit so perfectly with their characters or their places. Obviously, a lot of nostalgia is doing a lot of the heavy lifting on that, but it's just one of those soundtracks I'll go back to and listen to constantly.
To be fair, in nostalgia, yes, but even Uematsu said that this is like his like, you know, magnum opus. So I'm, for what it's worth. I
think you can tell he put his whole fantasy into this one. It's a great soundtrack. And also like the Monster Hunt theme, the battle theme, like everything's just kind of, like you said, there's a bit of a brightness to it when it's needed. And it's very fun and kinetic.
I love Treno because Treno's like, anyway, if you haven't watched this, just go play Final Fantasy IX.
If we haven't done enough heavy lifting for it already, nothing's going to get you to play it.
Fucking like, just like had a mental breakdown about how good.
And it's also like you get to play the best version of it because now on Switch you can like speed up the battles and things like that to make it, a lot of the rougher edges on it are a lot better. I also just love the summon aspect of it and how much Eidolon's like meant to the story and kind of like abusing the princess to kind of like get the power out of her, and it's all very anime but it just works so well. It's
chef's kiss.
It's distilled gaming.
It's so good. So have you ever played Warframe?
I did, like when it came out. I played it for like a few hours and I was like, okay, this isn't really my kind of game.
It's changed a lot since then.
Yeah, I've seen it's almost like a single player game now, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, there's a really significant story, and the Second Dream is like the best kept secret in gaming at this point. And it's like, basically, yes, at that point there was no story, and now like, oh god, I remember talking to one of my mods and I was like, is it that good? Like, this is a commitment. You know, you have to like get to Neptune, you have to like follow the star chart, whatever.
Yeah.
And he was like, trust me, like it's really good. It's like Shadowbringers level good of Final Fantasy 14. I don't know if that reference.
Oh, I haven't played 14, but I know how much respect that has.
Yeah, so I was like, okay. Several years ago, so my dad passed 4 years ago of liver cancer, and not to be a buzzkill. This song, when I was going to the gym, this is called "This Is What You Are." It was weird because I was trying to come to terms with what it meant to know that he was ill, and it was very likely that we weren't going to be able to. And he was my best friend, and like,
I'm sorry,
one of the love of my life. Yeah, at the time, I was like, I would push myself extra hard with this song when it would come on, because it felt like in some ways, if I was taking and causing myself some sort of physical pain, that maybe I was like almost like sapping the cancer out of his body or something. I mean, it didn't work obviously, but that's the power of music. You know?
Yeah,
it's a long one, but I think like maybe we just sit and listen to it.
Sure.
Maybe you'll relate to it, maybe you won't, but it's a really powerful piece, and Warframe's really good now, by the way. And yes, they have sponsored me for many things, but that's not mine.
They'll sponsor everybody at this point.
Yeah, I know. Actually, they've been on a whole VTuber saga right now. It's actually really funny. But yeah, this is what you are. It's insane. It's a whole journey. That's so cool. What do you think of that one?
Damn. That's beautiful.
Isn't that crazy?
It's kind of like a bit sad. It has hope in it. It's yearning. It's big. It's sweeping. I felt like I was flying at one point. It's that like above the clouds feeling we were talking about, and the drums, and then you always have like Skyrim shouts like the last third of it. Yeah, that's great. I also like just big tribal like percussion.
Oh, that's so good.
In anything. It's really cool. Was there a shamisen I was hearing at some point in it? It sounds very like there was Asian instrument.
Arhu at the beginning. What's amazing to me is that it's like, I don't know, I find the piece like deeply therapeutic, and it's like, I also feel like very, I wouldn't say that I feel masculine in my day to day. You know, I feel very like.
Me neither.
Oh, yeah.
I wasn't saying no to you. I was saying no. I was agreeing, but by saying no for me, I'm like, yeah, I can tell. I can tell you're not masculine in your day to day.
Yeah,
no, I feel similarly.
So a piece like that, though, it like feels like it taps into like the need to like, you know, I don't know, break apart a rock or like go get like an axe and break a piece of, you know, split some wood. Like there's a very, I don't know, honoring the ancestors. I don't know. I'm glad you like it. Yeah, not to be 6 minutes.
I had a similar experience watching the movie Sinners, which is all about music and how music connects to culture and everything. And I remember sitting there being like, man, this is so cool to see like music connected to culture and seeing the pride in it and everything. And then they sing like an Irish song outside at one point, and I literally cried in the theater watching it.
Really?
I was like, because I don't feel super connected to my culture a lot of the time. And some of that is on my own fault for not digging into it a bit deeper when I was there and not really respecting what I had when I had it. But listening to that, I was like, yeah, Irish people are very connected to like the earth. It's very primordial. It's very grounded. Yeah. It's a very old kind of culture. And I like that. Like we have a lot of those kind of like calfskin drums, and it's cool. It makes you feel, I don't know. I always feel like it feels like your feet are rooted to the ground in a weird way. Like you're very connected to the earth. You know where you come from. You know, like you said, like the ancestors are speaking through you.
Yeah. To your point, I didn't really appreciate the fact that I was like the son of Italian immigrants until I started singing, and people were like, "Whoa, you're Italian! This is so great!" I'm like, "Fuck yeah, it's great! I love this from the get go." But like, there was something about like when I started singing Neapolitan songs or like, you know, it's the same. I'm sure it's the same in you know Gaelic and Irish culture where it's like singing. Was that correct? Gaelic Irish culture?
Yeah. I'm sure. I mean, I could be wrong. People in the comments will be like, "Why did he say yeah? He's wrong." I'm giving you the pass.
All right, I'll take it. But it wasn't until I started singing those songs where I was like, wow, I understand what it means to be a part of something. And I think like in modern time, it's just not, I really don't think it's something that we really talk about that much. But to have that from an anthropological perspective, it's like, well, the, you know, song and music and dance and, you know, the expression, that's all stuff that throughout the history, you know, whether you're Italian, Irish, or, you know, whatever. Frankly, Irish and Italians, I mean, if you think about it, we shouldn't even be having this conversation because in Gangs of New York.
Yeah.
Look how far we've come.
I know. No, it's really cool. I mean, it's everywhere too. Like no matter what music you listen to today, like pop or hip hop or even metal, like a lot of that is rooted in like black culture as well, going back hundreds and hundreds of years. And I think you're nowhere without the ancestors in terms of the musical influence that's around everywhere. And one of my favorite artists ever, and right now especially, is Hosier, who's very tapped into like old school music, very spiritual, very cultured, very, like his lyrics are very poetic. I like that stuff. Again, that's the stuff for me that I like when a piece of art specifically has something to say or somewhere to go or relates to something. You can have it if you want that it's very surface level stuff. You're just making something to distract people and keep them happy and flashy lights, like whatever. I'm not going to yuck anyone's yums. For me, the older I get, the more I want to dig into things. The more I'm like, why did you make that decision? What does this piece of music say? Like I was imagining things while listening to that piece of music. That's just the way I like to operate. Instead of just being like, yeah, it's a cool piece of music because it sounds good, which again, totally fine. But for me, I just like the meaning of things, whether it's a person doing something or a piece of music, or why did you do a shot in a movie this way?
Did you feel like that when we have to bring up Dispatch? People, I'll get yelled at if I don't. Which was awesome, by the way. I really
thank you.
That.
I made that game. I made that game what it is. I always say thank you whenever people talk about it, and I'm like, is that the right thing to say? I'm really glad people connected with that game. I'm really glad it did well.
I mean, obviously, you know, larger than life character. Like, did you feel? How did it feel for you? Like, tapping into that character, like, did you feel like the Irish thing? Like, what was did you try to make it like serious, or what was it like a fun? Like, what was the?
It's a bit of a mixed bag. I think most of the credit for the character goes to the people who wrote his lines and also the people who were directing me in those scenes. Right. I think a big reason why that game did so well is specifically because of those two things. They had acted before. Mayana, who does the voice of Coupe, was directing me at one point too. And it helped a lot because she knew how to get me where I needed to be for some of those characters. And I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I gave like high art or I gave like the performance of a lifetime. I think there's a ton of flaws in it, and that was me being green to doing it. And most of the times when I've been asked to do stuff, it's like, be a pirate, be an Irishman, be like really over the top and like really lean into your accent. And this time they wanted me to be Irish. And originally I was doing like a sort of Jersey mixed with Boston accent, like that kind of thing. Like it was more like Irish immigrant sort of accent. Yeah. And I was leaning into that, and like his history could be Irish. And then they're like, are you doing an Irish accent? And I was like, no, because I got so pigeonholed doing that accent that I felt bad doing it again. I didn't want to just be that. But with him, it was just like, we want him to be as authentic as possible. And I tried my best to at least do an Irish accent that wasn't mine. So it made it easier to be a character when I was being something that's not me. And I could live in that a bit more. So I don't know. It was just a cool experience to me. It was cool. I got a ton of people saying like, it's cool to see Irish representation in games. And I think it's finally starting to happen where like Elden Ring has a ton of Irish words in it and Welsh culture. I had another friend, Danny O'Dwyer, who does the no clip stuff, messaged me recently. That was like the Seance of, I think it's Blake Manor is a game that came out that has a ton of Irish lore and culture in it.
Ah, yes. The point and click mystery adventure game.
Yeah. And it's just
cool.
It's cool to live in that. It's cool to talk about it. There was a couple of lines that they had written that was like, I got to put my spin on them, because certain parts of Ireland would say mate, but I don't say that. I would say lad instead. So I was able to like morph it and like make it a bit more my own. And they put in that he's from Galway and that's where I was born. And it's just cool. It's cool to just have that character. It's cool to be part of something that's so universally loved and be a little small part of it and just get to kind of like ride the coattails of other people a little bit. And everyone's just been really, really nice about it. And I'm glad to see the people who made it get their flowers, because seeing how they operate, and there was a bit of that like shoot from the hip, but they were also just like, they knew exactly what they wanted. And I think they just wanted to make a good thing.
I mean, that's the beautiful thing, isn't it? I mean, like, you know, making a good thing and making a nice thing and making a good thing that people like. It's great, you know. It's
the same with anything. Like whether a movie comes out or a game comes out and it gets panned, it's like they didn't want to make a bad thing. It was just
right.
You get lost in the sauce a little bit, or you just run into a ton of problems, and it's a miracle anything gets made, honestly.
Oh my God, I know. It's
just pure like magic that anybody's able to distill anything into an art form.
Did you ever feel that way with your own YouTube stuff? Like, did you ever feel like you were, I mean, I know, obviously I've watched some stuff and I know like your history and stuff, but like, did you ever feel like you just wanted to do something good that people liked, and then it kind of just blew up and became what it is?
I think I did it more for me than I did for other people in the beginning, because I just needed something to latch onto. I didn't really know where I was going in life, and I was very depressed and lonely, and I didn't really want a 9-to-5 job because I don't gel well with that. And I don't think anybody wants a 9-to-5 job for the most part. If you do, great. My brain was just like, I can't schedule myself. Everything was overwhelming. So I just kind of like fell into doing a thing for myself. And then it just became fun. And it was the only thing I ever did where I was like, okay, I'm actually decent at this and I can run with this. And it's something that I get to do on my own terms. It's very fun to do. And then it blossomed into, and there have been times where I've taken it for granted what I have and gotten a bit sort of lost in it and kind of like bemoaned it a little bit and like, oh, I wish this part of it was a little easier. I'm like, it's a pretty fucking cushy gig for the most part. I'm so grateful for what I have. I try not to let other things sort of get in the way of it or do things that I probably shouldn't be doing or don't want to do. And I'm just doing it because I know everybody else has done it. I know I go back and forth on it a lot, but I think it's the coolest job in the world. I think there's no other job for me that is more perfect than what I'm doing right now.
You know, it's kind of interesting too, because don't you feel like this generation, I mean, there are plenty of older folks that do it, but I mean, I feel like, you know, the millennial core group, as we get older, I'm slightly older than you. I'm 38. You're 35, right?
Yeah, I'm 36 in a week.
Oh, happy early birthday. Happy birthday to you.
Oh, wow, I'm back in Italy. It's beautiful. What, like soprano, tenor, alto, like what are you?
Tenor.
Okay. I don't know the difference.
As I've gotten older, I'm technically a full lyric tenor, so I would have sang all like the big stuff like Nessun Dorma and like Turandot and Fanciullo del West and like, you know, just crazy huge productions. And I stopped when I turned 30 because my last gig was in France and I had serious issues with my mental health and just the lifestyle people be like, oh, well, wherever you live is where you hang your hat. And I'm like, no, I can't wait to go home. And I was like, is this a sign? I didn't put two and two together. And
you need a very specific brain to be out on the road like that all the time.
You really do. You really do. And also just like the maintenance, like what the things required of you. And, I don't know. This morning I woke up and I'm next to my wife. And I'm next to like my beautiful dog, and she's like nuzzling her head against my like chest. And I'm like, man, I can't believe that there was like a period of 14 years that I suffered so much for a dream that became a nightmare. So there are plenty of times where I don't want to get too off rails, but it's okay. It's my show, motherfuckers.
Go for it. I'm here to listen.
There are plenty of times that like I get lost in the sauce too these days. And, I'm trying to grow and be this and be that. And, am I providing value? Do I say enough? Because when I started, I was always like, let me analyze these tracks from an emotional perspective, talk about the individual stuff and whatever. And over the years, it's kind of morphed. And now I'm just, honestly, I just want to have a good time, like talk about it. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. Okay, fine. Like, what I hate about, well, first of all, I don't really like reaction channels, which is kind of ironic that I became one, but okay, whatever. I try to offer value in the sense of like, in just like sheer enthusiasm and having conversations about like what we're doing right now. Like, why is this so important? Why is it helpful? I think that there's plenty of technique channels that's like, oh, well, the chord structure, this, and, the key signature and the, whatever. And I think that there's a place for that. But I also think that there's a wonderful TED talk that I'll send you afterwards. And anybody who's watching, it's Benjamin Zander. He's sitting talking about I forget the title, but it's like the power of music. And he's like, he's like playing like a Chopin nocturne. He's like, okay, you guys probably are thinking about what you're going to eat for breakfast, what you have to do after this conversation, and like what time your next meeting is. He's like, let's listen to it again. And this time I want you to think about someone who's no longer here. And he was like, do you feel the difference? He plays the same thing over again. And I've been so fascinated by that. And I think like video game music is such a important part of the total package of the game. Like, it's not the filling, but it's certainly the crust. Yeah. And any good, pie needs a crust, unless, whatever, open face sandwich. I've come up with like 18 different versions also. But the point is that like, we should be talking about this, and it should be approached at face value about how meaningful and how deep this stuff can be, Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So, was the original? I don't remember.
It's okay. I go off on tangents all the time as well, and I interrupted you too. So,
it's fine. All that to say, like, yeah, it's great, and I'm glad that you connected to this is what you are. Fuck, I can't remember what we were talking about before this. So there was something.
Well, we were also talking about YouTube in general, and I think it's a very specific thing, because what I do could be considered like an artistic thing. I don't really consider it that, because I don't think I go into it with that intent. It's more so to just have fun. Artistic integrity is whatever you kind of want it to be at this point. But I also just think anything that's algorithm based is just antithetical to artistic mediums. I don't think YouTube is an artistic medium at all. It's a content machine. I always talk about the difference between content and art, which both can exist and both do, and that's fine. I'm leaning more into the artistic side of things, where I can sit down, I can do a Let's Play. It's so bread and butter to me. I can do it really easily. I still really enjoy doing it. And some days that's all you want to do. You just want to sit down, turn your brain off, and have fun and go. On the other side of things, it's great that it does well, and I have an audience that really connect with it. But sometimes I want to challenge myself a little more, do the artistic thing. It's not always going to do well. It's not always going to do the best. And maybe YouTube isn't the right platform for it, unfortunately. But to at least kind of like push myself in that direction a little more. It's that thing of like you said, like, why am I doing it? What am I doing it for? What's underneath all of this? If I'm 50 and I'm still doing it, I want it to like mean something instead of just, I'm sitting down and playing a Let's Play and I'm making money off of it. Because that's, on paper, that's not what drives me whatsoever.
Well, and also, I mean, like, you've also done that. I mean, that's what, you've had a tremendous success at it. And it's like, okay, well, what else is there?
Yeah, and it's like offering something to the audience. I'm
not reducing it to that, obviously, but.
No, but I totally understand what you mean. You can do both. I don't need to, for the longest time, I was like, okay, I need to stop this thing. I need to retire, and I need to go and do something completely different. I need to produce and direct and write. But now it's like, I could just do that and do the other thing at the same time. I'm pretty bad at it. I'm terrible at time management, and I get overwhelmed by a phone call. I think that's where the struggle for me lies. But I mean, that's where music comes in. Like, I sit down every time I go and I take a shower. I took a shower like an hour before this call. I sit down, I have music on my phone, I'm playing Lamb of God or something. Like, it's the connective tissue that carries me from point to point.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd say one of the hardest things for me these days is gaming has really shifted because of the job part, and it's fine. Like I love this, and obviously at a much smaller scale, but like I'm okay with where it is, and as I continue to try to like spread the gospel, right? Like I want people to understand the power of music, but also it changes the way like I read manga and anime, watch anime now for fun. Like manga especially has become like such a refuge, and like, I'm going to read this, I'm going to read this, I'm going to read this. And I can just, but it's tough. I also got diagnosed with ADHD last year.
Welcome to the club, buddy.
Dude, everyone was like, we already knew. And I was like, what the fuck?
I think it's safe to say if you're a YouTuber, you probably have ADHD. There's a reason we gravitate towards this stuff and not something else.
Yeah, so now I've got two. I've got OCD, which is pretty rough, but that's medicated, so it's fine. And then ADHD, I'm like, I'll let that freak flag fly, see where it takes me. It's been okay so far.
Yeah, I've tried to get medicated for it, and it just doesn't. I don't agree with stimulants whatsoever. My brain freaks out. But I got the trifecta of both of those and autism then on top of it. So I'm like, what do I do? There's no pill for autism, but it's like trying to figure out the patterns and figure out what makes you the way you are. And I've gotten a lot better at like, okay, I'm not feeling it right now. I would make terrible content if I sat down to do it right now. Unfortunately, sometimes that means you have to take a considerable amount of time away. But I'm like, if I'm not putting my best foot forward for you guys, I don't want to just complain and be bitter about things online all the time. Like,
there's enough of that already.
Yeah, and it's like I want to speak my mind, but then it gets pretty indulgent at times. So I don't know.
End up at some like fucking headline. I feel like a lot of people take like TikToks of me now talking about that stuff, and then the comments are all horrible about it. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I was trying to share something. I'm not trying to complain. I love my job. I'm in a very good position. I know people have it worse. I'm sorry. I talked to my therapist about this, and he was like, well, I was like, my job is not as hard as construction. He's like, why are you comparing the two things? They're
yeah.
And I go, well, because they have it much harder than I do. I was like, so you don't have to do anything that's involving in work, or like, do you not treat it as a business? And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
I got in trouble though on a short recently because I paraphrased that my therapist called me a game hoe because I play like 18 games at the same time. People were like, that's a terrible therapist. I was like, no, I'm paraphrasing. He just because I can't commit to anything except for my relationship.
Yeah. Plus, the therapist knows you better than the people commenting that. So,
well, that's true. What's your next song?
I forgot that's why we're here.
We're just hanging out now.
For context, I don't know if we said this at the start of the thing. I have so many songs. Some of them I'm like, okay, they can go in the background. Honorable mentions being like "Bury the Light" from Devil May Cry 5, which I don't know what Capcom are doing. Those fuckers taking it down off Spotify and everything. And then Casey's like, I don't know either. And then puts it up on his YouTube. And I'm like, I hope that stays. Like, I want to still listen to it. I don't know what's happening.
Yeah.
I also have Hornet's theme from Hollow Knight.
Great.
Because I wanted a Hollow Knight in there, but I don't think they're probably of like the upper echelon of where I am. But I think Christopher Larkin is a genius.
Silksong was an amazing soundtrack. I couldn't finish the game. It was way too hard for me, but
it's very hard and it pissed me off. But the music is probably the best stuff he's put out.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't think it's any surprise that I'm doing The Opened Way from Shadow of the Colossus.
Oh.
Which has to be in there. Shadow of the Colossus, I used to say, was my favorite game of all time, and I go back on it and Bloodborne constantly. I mean, you can't see it right now. This is like a giant...
Oh, I see that. Oh, that's beautiful.
Shadow of the Colossus, and it was like...
Yeah.
And I've got Eileen from Bloodborne, I've got Metal Gear Solid 3, and I just have a ton of stuff from all the games that I like, and I go back and forth on them a lot. I got like Shadow of the Colossus on this arm, and then I got Bloodborne on this arm. But Shadow of the Colossus is one that I played it maybe when I was 16 or 17. I had some extra money lying around. I went into a GameStop where I grew up in Athlone, or where we would go for our shopping, and then I went in, saw the cover, thought it was really cool. And then I was like, something about fighting giant monsters. I knew nothing about the game. And I think that's some of the best experiences then. I just went home and then put it in, and I was like, oh my God, video games are art. That was when that switch like flipped for me. Like, I'd played Metal Gear Solid and Final Fantasy 9, and they became like top tier upper echelon games for me. But this was the first one where it changed kind of. It's, you know, when you play something or hear something, you're like, I'm different now. My brain is different now. I'm a different person.
Yeah.
This song, this is the extended version. We're not going to listen to all 12 minutes of this.
Sure.
This is very, has like that brightness, but you can hear the Colossus
It feels like
feet.
climbing up a mountain, right?
Yeah. And you're on your horse, and you're fucking white-knuckling everything, and you're fighting for your life, and
But you're not going to surrender, you know? You won't ever give up.
yeah, it's all about that perseverance, and you don't really know why you're doing what you're doing in Shadow of the Colossus. Like, there's a girl, and you're fighting for her. Is it your love? Is it your sister? Is it just someone you know who didn't deserve that? It's just beautiful, and there's a lot of songs like that. There's a couple of others that play very similarly. They're a bit faster, and it dynamically changing as you're fighting is really cool.
This is the main one? This is the one that you hear most frequently, right?
I think this is like the quintessential Shadow of the Colossus song. There's a couple of others that are a bit more, like the opening track is a bit more hooky harp kind of music, and it's made by a guy called, I don't know if it's Ko or Kao Otani, and he hasn't really done video game soundtracks since. I think he just does movies, but this one was like you just know when they have a plan, they know what they want. He gets a reference sheet for what this is, he knows exactly what to do and just nails it straight away. And it's also one of those games that on paper shouldn't work. You're fighting 16 Colossus and that's the whole game, but has a very melancholic sort of meditative atmosphere to it.
It is beautiful, isn't it? Just like when you raise up your sword and you point it in a direction and it's like there. And it's like, okay,
yeah.
How do I get there? Okay, off I go.
It's a beautiful video game. I love it so much.
It is a beautiful video game. Have you played the other Team Ico games?
Yeah, I've played Eco, and I haven't played that on my channel, but I played Shadow of the Colossus and Last Guardian when that came out on my channel. And they're always those games that they have so many rough edges to them, but it's just, there's nothing else like it.
Oh my God. The Last Guardian credits theme, I heard that last year. Oh my God.
Also a game that made me bawl my eyes out at the end of it.
Yeah, no, I can't do it. When my dog dies, I'm going to be a disaster. So
I think that's perfectly valid and fair.
I can't fathom. Well, you're right though. In like video games as a piece of art, I think is such a beautiful thing. You know what I was thinking about? I was thinking about not too long ago. I like to have these kinds of thoughts, like art, whatever that means, right? And then I was thinking to myself, like, is a Marvel movie, is FIFA, is Call of, well, not the recent because all the AI, but like, is a Call of Duty, is that art? You know, is a Ubisoft game art? And what do you think? I mean, I think yes, but like there's different scales, right?
I mean, it's hard to deny that it's not art because art is involved in it. There's assets, there's music, whatever. Like I think art comes down to intent and message. Mm-hmm. I think something like Shadow of the Colossus is obviously a very different piece of art than a Call of Duty. But it's also like I play Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 so much and I like skipped college classes for that and everything. But that's where I get between content and art and what's the intent for each of them. I think Call of Duty right now is being made to make money. Which I don't think that's art. Maybe the people making it have a different thing. Maybe the people writing it. I don't think people are trying to like say something with a Call of Duty or a FIFA.
No, I don't think so either.
And that's not like an output in versus output out. Like just because Fumito Ueda hasn't made games in a very long time and they're showing off their new one and Gen Design and they left Sony and all this stuff. Just because he's taking a long time to do it and letting them cook on it doesn't mean it's a better piece of art than something else that somebody probably made in a day. That conversation also falls apart because a lot of the best pieces of artwork that were ever made, like paintings, were done on commission. They're made for churches. They're made to make money. So I'm like, is that the same thing as a Call of Duty? I don't know.
Well, it's the line between, I had this conversation with a friend one time, and it was like on the channel, and it was like the difference between art and entertainment. And it's like, well, people deserve to be paid if they're making art. Yes, you can make art for its own sake, but if you sell that art, then is that suddenly not for its own sake? I don't know. You know, like I don't think this is the kind of it's not a very good YouTube conversation. Like it's not a YouTube comment conversation, especially, but I think that's interesting, right? At the very least, I think it's an interesting topic.
Yeah, I think that's what I mean by like, it's kind of like intent versus impact versus, because that's the thing with an old piece of Renaissance art that's made for commission, but they're still trying to say something with it. They're still trying to represent something with it. The main goal of art being money is not great, but it is great if you can make money off the art, because it allows you to continue making it. So I don't think you'll ever get to the bottom of that question, because it's what is art is completely different now. Back in the day, it was like, it's music and it's painting, and that's it.
Can you imagine just Bach being like, oh, fuck, I don't want to do this today? Just like, and he just distributes it. And it's like total horse shit, like Bach but it's like Bach, so it's like really good.
Yeah. And you also have those people who they'll make one piece in their entire life and it's incredible and they'll move on. Or then you have other people who it's like, it's just in them. They have to make stuff. Like Bach isn't going to stop making music because that's his blood.
That's what he does. Yeah.
It's a fascinating thing. But that's also like, I'm just making YouTube because I feel like that's all I do now. It is a very interesting conversation. I would love to talk to some scholars about it, but maybe they'd also be very annoying to talk to. I don't know. Any art scholar, I'm like, are you annoying?
Have you ever played Ace Combat?
A long time ago. I haven't played any of the current, like, Fast and Furious style Ace Combat games, but I heard they're incredible.
Dude. Okay. Let me tell you a story.
Okay. So it's all about family.
4 years ago, someone on my Patreon was like, hey, can you react to Ace Combat? And I was like, it's going to be like really like electronic, you know, in the 80s. Sure. It's whatever. Like I was thinking like, I don't know, Top Gun or whatever. And I put it on and it's Zero from Ace Combat Zero, and it's flamenco guitar and like jamming out. I didn't bring Zero, which I probably should have. It doesn't make sense for the story now, but whatever. I brought something better. And I nearly shit a brick. And I was like, what do you mean? This is Ace Combat music? What? and so then I heard Unsung War, which is what I brought to you today. And Unsung War is literally the music that plays while you're shooting down a nuclear like antenna satellite. But the thing is, like, here's the thing about Ace Combat. Ace Combat is all about hope, anti-war. It's basically, and you love Metal Gear, it's Metal Gear in the sky.
Oh, don't give Kojima any ideas.
The thing about it, and you love FromSoft games. So the amazing thing to me about Ace Combat is that death is everywhere. If you go too high, you stall out. If you go too low, you crash. If you get hit by a missile, you explode. And like, you have a job. And at the same time, it also spins this wonderful web of like, what does it mean to be like a human? And like, you know, yes, you're playing Jesus, but you're also so much more. And like, it's crazy. So the Unsung War, I literally played this Ace Combat 5. Ace Combat 7 is the one that's out, and then Ace Combat 8 is coming out sometime this year. I like had I went hoarse when I got.
You had the jet sweats.
Oh my!
It is one of those franchises that I'm like, they sent me a jacket one time for Ace Combat with like a fur line, and I was like, I think it was for Ace Combat 7, and I was like, I don't play these, but I should. Everyone raves about them.
Oh my God, please. If you get one thing out of me today, I mean, you may not even like it, but like, just play Ace Combat 7.
I mean, the way you described it, of course I'm going to like it, especially since it's over the top, but it's earnest, I think.
Yes, and there's a purity in it. So the Unsung War, I played Ace Combat 5. So Ace Combat 5 and 0 are like, Ace Combat 5 is 15 years after Ace Combat 0, and then none of them are really connected. But so I heard this was the second Ace Combat song I ever heard, and we'll listen to about half of it. It's about 3 minutes, and I'd love to hear what you think now that I've hyped up the crap out of it.
Oh, this picture's sick.
Yeah. Yeah, final mission, final boss.
Okay.
Blowing up a satellite.
didn't expect to be like Gregorian chanting Ace Combat.
Dude, I know. Sorry, I'm like, my eyes are bulging out of my like, dude. And they're recounting this whole story about this Razgris pilot who emerges from the fire and becomes like, first he's a whatever, then he's a ghost, and then he emerges out of the flames and becomes like the hero of the day. It's like, it's very medieval.
We're soaring. We're above the clouds. We're flying, baby.
Exactly.
Wow. Are those your missiles?
Yeah. We'll just listen to a couple more minutes.
Sure. What a crescendo.
Makes you patriotic for a country that doesn't exist.
I'll fight for you.
But yeah, and then it continues.
That's sensational.
And here's the thing. So, and I want to hear your thoughts, but for every iteration of these games, there is one very large choral movement that basically is like a liturgical thing that you would hear in like a church. But the rest of it is like prog rock, like it goes.
Wow.
What'd you think?
It's cool. I mean, it's that triumphant loyalty, like we're being sent to die. There's the sort of marching snare underneath that's kind of like the ticking clock, like the war room briefing, like quintessential music. All the choir together is like all the team together, like fighting for the same mission. We're all in harmony. It's sick. Again, now I want to play Ace Combat.
Listen, we've only been talking for an hour. I know what I like. I know what you like. You would go absolutely dog crazy shit for Ace Combat. I mean, I don't want to shill it too bad, but I honestly think you would.
I mean, sometimes that hype is all I need to be able to play the game. If other people are excited about it, it gets me pumped up about it.
And we were talking earlier about how like time and like it's not a lot of time to play a lot of games and stuff. 20 hours.
Okay.
Now,
I'm down. My PlayStation is going to be buzzing tonight. Yeah, it's very cool. It reminds me, there's always a song in Final Fantasy VIII that's that kind of like getting ready to go to, is it Dolly or
Fatali? The first opening?
Well, not that one, but there's another one that's like the war room briefing kind of music when the seed soldiers are being talked to. And there's always that kind of like snare underneath. So whenever I hear that now, that's all I think of. And it's just, it's so effective at getting that militaristic side of things across. Again, another game that's very anti-war about sending children out to die, but it's like that type of like die for loyalty thing. This isn't one of the songs I had, but I think it's the most perfect version of these types of songs. A Cup of Liberty from Helldivers 2. I don't even really play Helldivers 2, but that first launch where it's like boom, 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 and the 3 pods are coming down like space marines.
Yeah, I know.
And this, I think this might be one of the greatest pieces of music for games written as well. It encapsulates all of that perfectly, that triumphant...
1,000,000%. It's so good.
And then there's a montage of guys running away from bugs and shooting shit, and I'm like, yeah! Let me fuck shit up! It's that... I mean, what horn is playing right now?
Oh, what horn?
Yeah.
Trombone.
It's just, it's that perfect thing. It's like you listen to Lord of the Rings and you hear the French horns, and it's like, I know where I am. I know my focal point. Yeah. Anyway, that's not one of the songs I brought, but that's one of the songs I absolutely love.
Oh, I know you have a coffee company. Is it okay if I sip my Dunkin' Donuts?
Go for it, man. I'm not going to be precious about anything. The one thing I hate about people who shill a product is the idea that no other products exist. Like, how stupid is that to think? Like, everyone has their own favorite thing. Everyone likes their own favorite food, their own favorite snacks, their own favorite coffee. I try and make coffee that's good and that people who don't really know coffee can get into coffee. But it's like, imagine you make a movie or a piece of music. It's like, you're not allowed to listen to other musics or watch other movies.
Do you have a decaf?
I do. I think it was imperative that we brought in a decaf because not everybody can have caffeine.
Yeah, I can't have caffeine. It fucks it.
And I can't have too much caffeine because it'll fuck up my stomach as well. Some other songs I had To Xanarkin from Final Fantasy X.
Oh. So good.
Everyone knows that song, so I'm not going to repeat it here. And I don't want to double up on my Final Fantasies. This one probably won't surprise anyone.
Oh, wait, don't play this because copyright.
Oh, okay. That's true because he got it removed off his own channel.
It's a whole mess.
Anyway, sorry, Toby. We'll move on.
Sorry, I feel bad. I know you love this. You know what I just listened to recently?
It's okay. It gets me through my other songs quicker. So it's actually doing me a service.
You were like 15. I was like, bring 5. And
yeah, I can't help myself.
That's fine. But we do love, I actually did a musical Let's Play of this and it was amazing.
What is a musical Let's Play?
This is just get someone in the door. The opera singer plays.
Is that just some hoity-toity,
yeah,
pretentious film school, art school?
I had to differentiate myself. No, but I did like a episodic thing of I did a Let's Play. And did you cry at the mirror after all this time? It's still you.
I don't know if I did. I think I did cry playing Undertale somewhere. But it's been so long since I played it, and it was also back at a time when I was kind of like, oh, I shouldn't cry on camera because everybody does that to get views, and I was kind of like hard on myself for it. You've
been in YouTube for so long. Do you feel like now you're trying to be the most authentic version of yourself, and so you're like fighting against some...
Yeah, I think at some point my personality and my YouTube are just the same thing.
Yeah.
You do it so often, you kind of like flanderize yourself a little bit. I started becoming like a caricature because, again, you turn on, you say the catchphrases, like, you know how to do it. But I think at some point my personality sort of like bifurcated, that I didn't know who Jack or Sean were, or like which version of me was which. And I always try to be the most authentic version of myself, but you have to turn it on a little bit for YouTube. If I was 100% myself, I don't think I would be nearly as entertaining. I want to be like a happy, energetic version of myself when I'm Let's Playing, not just for the video, but for me as well. I enjoy doing that. Yeah. But if you meet me day to day, I'm a lot more sullen and complex and emotional and sensitive. But it's definitely a version of me that I think it's the same for anybody. It's like Jacksepticeye is almost like a stage name at this point versus like when I'm performing, I'm not just hanging out. And it becomes difficult because it is a moment where I'm like, I don't really know who I am a lot of the time now. Sometimes I'll make a decision for my personal life and I'm like, I start thinking about like, what would the audience think about this? I'm like, oh, that's the wrong reason to be thinking about making a decision in your life. And it is a bit unfortunate that I said it before, like I paint miniatures and I like doing that for myself because I like failing at that in the dark when no one's watching me. Mm-hmm. I like having something for myself that I feel like isn't under scrutiny and isn't being picked apart. And I have a very sensitive personality where I can logic out that what people are saying is ridiculous and it doesn't really mean anything, but it still hits me. Yeah. And it's like shining that light on everything I hate about myself and get very insecure about it. So when you're trying to like bring the best version of yourself and it gets picked apart and then you start kind of like second guessing yourself a little bit, it kind of takes a knock to my confidence. So yeah, there's definitely a lot of complex emotions that go on. And I think that is probably the hardest part of doing this job. Showing up and doing it isn't hard, but having that cycle consistently sort of follow you is, you don't just turn off the camera and then it's done. Like fans are wanting to know everything about you. And it's a complicated system. I don't think we really fully understand it yet because YouTubers are still pretty new.
Well, I mean, basically it's a human resources job. You spend more time interacting with people than you do actually making the content half the time. I mean, like, yeah, at your level too, like with the amount of eyes that you have and like people, I mean, I think it's like a beautiful thing, but I definitely think that it can be extremely overwhelming because that's just like a level of like people are paying attention that. Yeah,
I kind of don't want to be perceived all the time.
Just make a VTuber model.
I wish I would, because there are some people that can puff up their chests and kind of like deflect it and bounce it off them and just be confident what they're doing and just go for it. I don't really think I have that personality type. I think my brain is a little it's wired too differently for that.
I get that.
So I need to pull back a little bit. I do feel a little bad because I feel like I've kind of messed it up a little bit over the years, like pulling back a little too much and distancing myself from the audience, but it's something I needed to do and maybe something that I needed them to do as well. I don't know. Again, it's a human emotion thing, but in terms of like being a YouTuber and being on top and like getting the views and stuff consistently going up, maybe I fucked that side of it up, but maybe I'm okay with that.
It's definitely a trade-off.
You don't want to just like use your personality as like, I don't want my YouTube personality to be 100% me. I don't want everything I do to be work.
Right.
It sounds so obvious, but it's hard to do when you're in that position.
I mean, it's so hard. You know, my therapist literally we talked about this last week. I mean, again, I'm talking like, 1%, 2% of what you have. And it's like,
it's all perspective. It's all relative.
You're right. Sorry. I'm trying to.
You're downplaying it. Don't downplay your own traumas.
It's true. I'm very proud of what I've accomplished. But we were talking about the mask. See, my problem is I suppose Jack and Sean are interchangeable, right?
Yeah. It doesn't matter. Whatever comes to mind first.
Right. Yeah. So same thing. Marco Meatball. I mean, my last name's not Meatball. Fuck. Like,
that would be such a sick last name.
I should legally change it. But we were talking about the mask and taking that off and like, who are you when the lights are off and you're in the dark or you're sitting on the couch with a loved one or with your pet or whatever. And it's like, if people only knew how badly my farts smell, you know what I mean? Like, like that's the most human part. You know what I mean? Like there's nothing different. It's just that luck and preparation, opportunity, and then just riding the wave. So I totally understand you, but I can imagine that. I feel like, I wonder if this isn't a problem, like folks that have been in the game for a really long time and have like really, I hope this is okay, by the way.
Yeah, go for it.
I just think it's really interesting because I'm 4 years in and my journey is very, 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 very different from obviously yours. And you've kind of grown up with YouTube over the last, how many years is it? 2007?
Yeah, that's when I made the channel, but like 2012. I've been doing it for like 13 years at this point professionally.
Dude, that's like a seismic amount of time.
Yeah. When I realized, like, I tweeted that thing when Matt Pack quit. I was like, I've been doing it for a third of my life. That's kind of scary to think about. And some people have been doing it half their life.
I mean, that's how long I was an opera singer. That trauma, that stuff, like, and you're still in it, and you've had to like, you have to. It's so hard, and people don't know this unless they've done it. But like, it's so hard to extricate yourself emotionally from a thing when you're actively still doing it.
Yeah, and it's. I mean, my therapist was like, well, if you're doing another job, imagine being 13 years at it. Like, most people have turnover after X amount of years.
That's true.
So it's kind of up to us to figure out where it bobs and weaves. But will other stuff that you're trying to do be as successful, and that hurts when it's not? So there's always that trepidation to like do something differently, because you can't just go out and get another job, but you can change what you have now into something else. And that's kind of on us. But when the audience doesn't follow or get it, or the algorithm doesn't care,
Totally.
I can see why people would be terrified to change anything they're doing. But to do anything for 13 years is just, at some point you need a little bit of a change or something to kind of make it fun again.
Yeah, it's not possible to sustain it. Even in 4 years, I've iterated 3 different times, to the point that people have been like, I don't even know what this channel is anymore. And I'm like, me neither.
Keep them on their toes. You know? It's also different now. I feel like if you get into it now, or like within the last 5 years, like the COVID times, it's a very different beast. Stuff rises and falls so much faster. Mine was meteoric at the time, and that's still over the course of like 6 years of gaining like critical mass. But now it happens within a year for people, and then people immediately like destroy you when anything goes wrong. Like that, the standards and the timelines have all condensed. It's going to be like a neutron star at some point, where you're popular for a week and then everyone hates you immediately afterwards. I mean, people watch a movie or a TV show, and after 2 weeks, no one cares about it anymore.
Yeah,
they just move on immediately.
It's true. Well,
terrifying.
Well, yeah, and at the same token, it's like, well, do you want to be a flash in the pan, or do you want to have legacy? And legacy makes it seem like it's, but like, you know, a gradual, you know, grow as you go. And there's definitely trade-offs to both. But I mean, you know, I think it'd be better to, it's always better to like be a flash in the opposite. It's always better to, you know, sort of like healthfully navigate. And I mean, the amazing thing for you, dude, is that like, you know, you're doing all this self-discovery, like, in 10 years, you're going to make it like, imagine. It's so exciting.
10 years will be almost 50, so I don't want to imagine that.
All right, first of all, I will be 50, so kindly fuck you.
Oh, God. I turned to my friend one time who turned 30 a couple of years back, and I was like, isn't it crazy now that you're closer to 60 than being born? And he was like, oh, man. I'm like, it's okay. You still have a long way to go. You're fine.
Are they going to yell at me for saying fuck you to you? Hopefully not.
No.
Okay, good. Imagine they're like, you said that?
No, I'd say fuck you to me more than anybody else. I'd like to think my audience aren't in that phase anymore. That it's not, they're like, I want to know your address and every movement you do, and I want a lock of your hair. Like, there was definitely like a 2-year period where it kind of was like that. But I think I've been pretty good about setting boundaries that, like, I say fuck you to everybody. I'm so sarcastic and dry all the time that I would be very upset if people got mad on my behalf for something somebody else said to me that I'm clearly like vibing with.
That would be terrible, wouldn't it? I mean, that's just not representative of who you are either.
I would like to not think, I feel like I would have done something wrong if that's what's happening.
Yeah. What's the next song?
Okay. Snake Eater is like, top tier echelon for me, but I am very aware that it's probably a song that's going to get copyright claimed more than some of the other songs in that. Sorry. It won't?
No.
Okay.
By the way, have you ever spoken with Cynthia?
No.
She's the loveliest person. She comes into my streams randomly. I'll be like doing something. And Cynthia's just like, hey, Marco. And I'm like, Cynthia, what the fuck are you doing here? She's the nicest lady, dude.
She's pretty cool.
Nicest lady.
I will say the remake came out and they changed this song. They re-recorded it. And I'm like, I don't think you should have, because I think it's a worse version of the song.
Sure.
I think it's just a factor of age. You can't hit those notes as well as you could like 20 years ago or whatever. It's fun that they did it and they got Cynthia back and everything, but I don't think it's as powerful as the original piece.
Certainly the original has that body. And I mean, what I like about the remake is the fact that they honored and respected and like wanted to, you know, paint the original in a beautiful light. And I do think that they succeeded at that. Yeah. I hear what you're saying though.
It's a couple of like register changes where I was like, oh, I wanted big, but I got lower. I got like a couple of octaves down, and it's just what I'm used to and what I expect versus what I get.
Yeah. Man, classic.
I mean, it's the perfect like Bond theme. They nailed it. And her voice is so breathy. Beautiful.
Yeah.
The amount of times I try and sing this song, and I'm like, some days I can hit these notes. Other days, not even close.
It's such a classic.
And I also love that it plays when you're climbing the ladder. It's just bananas.
Like,
but you're so supreme.
She really like dials up the gas right away.
Yeah, her voice is so like warm and clean. Ugh. Just does something to my brain. Listen to that perfect clarity.
You know what it is too? The vowel is perfect. It's like you know?
Yeah.
It's very clear on the vowel.
Someday you go through the rain.
The big horns in the background.
You feed on a tree frog. It's ordeal, the trial to survive. For the day we
See what I mean? It's so clear.
I never thought about it before. I was just like, voice good. Cynthia good.
Cynthia good. God, I love Ocelot in this game so much.
He's fucking, he rules.
Oh my god. Yeah.
It's such a good song, and that's why, like, there's other Metal Gear songs. There's the one that everyone says is plagiarized, and there's that famous video of Kojima listening to it, and he's like, huh? It's like the main theme. To this day, I still don't know what the story is with that, but just seeing him kind of like come to terms with that and be like, okay, we can never do this again. Like, there's so much good music in Metal Gear, and there's like Yell Dead Cell from Metal Gear Solid 2, the weird sort of like boss music that plays, and it's that weird sort of like synthy dance music. But I think this is the one that everyone knows. It's the one that I've probably listened to the most.
Do you like 3 the most of the
Yeah.
5?
I loved 1 when I was a kid, and then 3 I was really hyped for. 2 as a kid I didn't like. Now 2 I adore because I understand it more.
Yeah.
And it gets better with age. As a kid, I'm the one that he made the game for, to be like, you want Snake? Fuck you. Here's a different guy. And I wanted that power fantasy, and I didn't understand what that meant until I was way older, why he did what he did. And I respect when you take a massive swing like that.
Oh, I mean, that's Kojima's like, I couldn't like Death Stranding less, but I'm like, you know what?
Death Stranding 1 I like. Death Stranding 2 I'm milk warm on.
Wait, okay, but if you love Metal Gear, do you like Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance?
Yeah, but not for the reasons I like Metal Gear.
Okay, that's right. Okay.
I just like how it plays and how over the top it is, but I mean, it's not a Metal Gear game. It's not.
Gear. Yeah.
No.
I have a really hard time separating it though. I'm like, what? This isn't what this is bullshit.
It's the same with 5. 5 is a pretty bad Metal Gear Solid game.
Yeah.
For the whole package, but it's probably the best it's ever played, and it's still one of the best third-person games
1,000,000%.
ever made. But the story is like, yeah.
You know, 4 scared me. I actually cried at 4. I love 4.
Because it was so bad?
What? No. I mean,
Hate 4.
Well, because it was a movie?
No, it's that. I mean, I'm fine with that. When I was 17, 18 when I played it. Bought a PlayStation with my hard-earned construction money, and I played it, and I was so excited for it. I feel like it missed the mark on everything. It tried to wrap everything up in a poor way. I don't think it looked very good.
Oh, that filter, yeah.
It was like, at the time, everyone was singing its praises, and I felt like a weirdo not liking it. And I couldn't really pinpoint why until I was older. And it was kind of like that mask of like, I'm smiling, but I'm like crying and grimacing underneath, because I was like, I want to like it so bad.
Can I show you a scene from Metal Gear Solid 4 that
Yes.
I think is mind-blowing? Oh, yes. The microwave hall scene.
Yeah, which they also did another microwave scene in Death Stranding 2. He like gets burned alive for like 10 minutes over and over and over again.
So I played 30 hours of DS2 and then I just watched it like a movie, and it was great. I was like,
Hey, that's why people like me have a job. Thank you.
Snake, that place is saturated with microwaves. The longer you stay in there, the greater damage you'll take. Get through there as quickly as possible.
I just think like the desperation in that, and like,
Yeah.
it's amazing.
The dual perspective is really cool too.
Yeah, and the solo soprano just like you know, it's such a dirge. But yeah, MGS4. Yeah, I get your complaints.
And it also just comes with expectations versus reality, and
Totally.
how good Metal Gear Solid 3 is, and everybody was just a caricature by the time this game came out, and I didn't like the monster closets of enemies just constantly appearing. But in terms of the themes of the game about war and everything, it makes total sense. Metal Gear Solid 4 voice impression was my first ever YouTube video, so I can't be too mad about that. Yeah, it's cool. I think there's a lot of good elements in it. It just, I didn't like fighting the bosses, and then I get like a whole monologue about why I should have cared before I killed them.
That's fair.
There's some thematic thing in that. I think it's probably just the wrong way of doing it, because I would have liked hearing that first, like as the story went along, because they do that with Metal Gear Solid 1. You kind of like get a little bit about them leading up to it, and then it's just cool. But I guess they also just kind of explain them away afterwards. It's just his style.
It probably is a little bit bloated too. I mean, that makes sense. That's not surprising, unfortunately.
It's crazy to say it's bloated when it's such a short game. I think without some of the cutscenes, the gameplay is only like 4 hours, I think. It's a ridiculously short like gameplay game, but overall it's pretty long. At the time, I kind of like scoffed at going back to Shadow Moses, because I was like, what are we doing, man? To me, at the time of playing it, I was like, you're just trying to remember a better game. But now that I'm older, I'm like, I played it again, and I was like, this is pretty cool.
Yeah, I know.
Like the music kicks in, and you see like the little glimpses and the flashbacks. And like, it could be seen as nostalgia bait, but it's done really well. And when the music hits from Metal Gear 1, you're like, oh my God.
Honestly, like I still like think about this, you know, ma dee da 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 dee da.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God. And then you're like, Snake, this is like, I love it.
This is a virtuous
It was
mission.
the first game I bought with my own money.
Oh, that's sick.
Listen, I grew up in an Italian home. It was also the first time, I don't know how old I was, but it was the first time I actually went up to the register and was like, hey, could I have hey, you know.
Can I have video game?
Please, sir. What's the next song you brought?
Okay, so we have a couple more. Some of them, I have like Dark Reality from Kingsfield 4, only because of Zuli the Witch on YouTube, and I watch a lot of their videos, and I really, really like that song. I don't even really play Kingsfield 4, but I like the music a lot.
Yes.
I'm not going to play it because I want to condense some of this stuff. This one we're going to do, which is going to be weird because...
Oh, wow.
It's technically not a video game song. I think this is literally from a band, and they just used it for this game. But then the band did the rest of the soundtrack. I might be completely wrong on how that works, but this one, I think Soul Reaver has one of the best openings of any game ever. And this music really, it's just weird and it slaps. And it's kind of hard not hear the voiceover.
It's so twisted.
Yeah. Then we have those drums back again.
Yeah. It's so badass.
It's very broody.
Yeah.
Have you played Soul Reaver?
Long time ago. I don't even think I definitely didn't finish it.
Very few people finished Soul Reaver.
Which is the one when it's in the city? Kane. That's Legacy. That's Kane.
Yeah. There's all Legacy of Kane's, and there's Defiance for Soul Reaver.
I think it was... I played that one.
And this is one of those songs that just has like that droning sort of repetition, and then it changes completely at some point.
I like that it sounds metal, like mechanical,
Yeah.
like actual metal.
Because that's the thing, the album this is from is very like, it's kind of like soundscape music.
Yeah.
And then if we go ahead a bit, there's like a completely different part of the song.
There it is, yeah.
And there's going to be some like big swells at some point.
Ouch! So heroic, though. It's kind of interesting.
This.
So cool.
It's like angel chorus.
Does this play in the opening?
Yeah, so it's
this is
when he gets like
hit.
cast in.
Yeah, and you can really hear that it's like, this whole, like, not holy, obviously, but like it kind of has like fall from grace, and then like,
Yeah, it's like the fall of Gabriel.
Yeah,
kind of like.
Yeah,
It's very religious sounding, which is probably why whoever made the game was listening to that song and they were like, this could work. But now it's so ingrained to hear Raziel's voice, Michael Bell's voice, like alongside that music. But I just thought a lot of songs that we've been listening to today are like straight from the games, like made for the game.
Yeah.
And I mean, maybe it wasn't, but I'm pretty sure this was made. It's like how Shrek used like licensed music in its soundtrack, and you can scoff at Shrek all you want, but it uses it so well. I think this is a good example in gaming of taking something outside of it and bringing it in. It's like, have you ever heard the Exorcist theme? Mm-hmm. That's not written for the Exorcist. It's just a song called Tubular Bells.
really?
Yeah, it's from like a massive album by Mike Oldfield, who also does a song Kojima used for the Metal Gear Solid 5 trailer called Nuclear.
Oh,
But this whole album is just like, we have one giant song and we're just merging all of the songs together.
wow, that's cool.
So it's kind of mad. And when I heard that the first time, I was like, wait, that's not from The Exorcist, but it's like the perfect Exorcist theme. And I think about that a lot for stuff like Soul Reaver, how, like you said, it completely changes the context.
That's awesome. I can't believe I had no idea that The Exorcist was that was grabbed separately, and I did not know that about Soul Reaver either.
When I first found out about the Exorcist one, I was a little sad because I was like, oh, I thought it was from The Exorcist. But if anything, it kind of makes it cooler knowing that it's just something completely different.
I think like the juxtaposition between like The Exorcist being this religious, terrifying, unholy thing, and then taking a piece of music that has a separate, almost modern twist to it. So like, you take the ancient, which is like, the devil versus God, and then you combine it with this modern sound, or however modern that is.
Yeah.
And you smash it together. It's like the perfect blend of like old and new. I find that spice so interesting to listen to.
It's almost like a musical uncanny valley in a way. It's not supposed to be used here, but it is, and it's kind of like throwing me off a little bit.
But I like it.
They use just enough of it for The Exorcist to not get into the sort of like technological side of it.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like evergreen.
Do you remember a game called Babylon's Fall?
No.
Of course you don't, because no one does. Platinum Games. It was an MMO. It was a looter shooter. So this song, Prelude to Reclamation, is like, first of all, it was the kind of stuff that I have sung professionally, and I'd never heard it. Like, it basically is a classical music album within a game, in the game. So here's the thing. I think video games and video game music like deserves to be paired with like symphonic like presentations. I think it's really cool. Like Ludwig the Holy Blade could absolutely be in a symphony with a Verdi Requiem or something.
Yeah.
But Babylon's Falls music, for the most part, not all of it, you could literally take it as is and produce a concert of that music exclusively. People would lose their minds. There's a lot of other stuff too, but like, so this particular track, I feel really validated because it like speaks to a lot of the stuff we did in the opera days were like outreach, and like I've sung so many like high school performances of Carmen where they're like, ooh, and like, like she like throws off the wedding ring and they're like, girl, like, so and then like, just regular performances that, you want people to come to. And then there's a lot of discussion in the world about like, how do we connect to people? How do we outreach? How do we gather? So when I heard this, even though it's from a dead game that no one knows anymore, I was just elated. Yeah, you get a nice like children's chorus here. It's
Yes.
nice lower bass there.
Hell yeah. The boys are out.
Here comes the tenor. This is classical music. Like,
This is very operatic.
yeah. Yeah.
Feels like they're dancing.
What'd you say?
It feels like they're dancing or
Yeah.
like chasing each other.
Yeah, yeah. Because of the balance between the soprano and the tenor, yeah. And the children are like, don't you want to be with him? And then, uh-oh.
Where's he going?
What do you mean you don't want to be with me? What the fuck? The whole thing is just so good, dude. It's like
Yeah, that's incredible.
dead game. Never.
Really?
No one hears this music. Yeah, game died after a year.
It says initial release date 2022.
Oh, really? Well, that's
It's way sooner than I thought.
Yeah, yeah. And it lasted a year. It was critically panned, I'm pretty sure, and the whole thing just totally fell apart.
Was it a bad game?
Yeah, I just don't think it had legs. I want to do a whole video essay on the music because it's just like it's so good, and it's literally like a 3-hour like symphonic like tone poem, and a tone poem is like telling a story through music alone, and like the whole, I mean, it's just ungodly good. And but that's it. I mean, it's like, you know, talk about underrated or like lost to time.
Yeah.
Like if this, and this is kind of the frustration I have sometimes with music. Now, granted, I haven't played anything from like previous to I think 2000, but or previous to 1995. But like, you know, there's a lot of stuff that we're losing just because algorithms and chasing trends and games.
Yeah. It's a little unfortunate as well that like such a incredible piece of music is attached to something then like gameplay wise can't match the same heights.
Right. Which goes to show that like a soundtrack can outlive a game, which clearly in this case, but they do dance, which is
Yeah. If it all works together in cohesion, then you have like a incredible piece of work. But what are you going to do? Clearly the person who made the music or people put so much effort in. Maybe they're just better than everybody else. Maybe we should judge people on their art based on how good people are versus other people. Maybe we should compare endlessly and
never be happy. All right, what's your next?
But there's another one that came up as we were listening to stuff that I don't know if you will know it.
Okay.
Hearing what you're showing me might be exactly in your wheelhouse.
Okay. Oh,
I don't know if you know anything about Fire Emblem Three Houses.
I need to cover this. This is on my to-do list for this year.
Is it?
I need to sing this. Yeah. It's on my.
Okay, so you do know the song.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
As soon as you were like playing this other stuff, I'm like, we gotta like play this in the video at some point because I love this game. I think it's great. There's also another song called Fodland Winds that I play constantly.
Love it.
I play it when I'm brushing my teeth at nighttime and I'm dancing around my bedroom. But this song, holy shit.
Yeah, it's crazy. Fake language too. I mean, like,
Yeah. It's just when that plays, you're like, uh-oh.
Yeah. Again, it's just sustaining a vocal line over a long period of time. It's just.
It's what a way to start a song. I mean, don't get me wrong. The rest of it is incredible. And we're like, now we're fighting. I love a piece of music that just kind of like announces its presence. Yeah, it's like, it's Duel of the Fates from Star Wars. It's like, we're immediately like, holy shit, things got serious.
Yeah, 1,000,000%. I love that.
My last song to completely change what we're doing.
Yeah. So good.
So kinetic.
Yeah, 1,000,000%. I love that. Because it never goes where you think it's going to.
No.
Keeps you always on your toes.
That being like the start of the game and you're getting ready to kick ass. And Doom Eternal is an incredible game, but Doom 2016 is just something special. Seeing Doom come back and it having lots of games try to do heavy metal soundtracks in their scores, but I don't think any of them hit the same levels as like Mick Gordon for this one. And it's all like prog metal. And I'm a huge fan of prog metal in general. And I used to listen to Periphery when I was in college. And then at the Game Awards, the drummer for Periphery performed this with Mick Gordon on stage.
Oh, yeah.
Just seeing him wail on a snare drum over and over again is just incredible. It's exactly the type of music you want to be killing demons. You want to just like jump in, kick some ass, have your shotgun out, not have to think, just head empty, kill, kill, kill over and over again. It's incredible.
1,000,000%. I got 2 more tracks for you. Have you heard, oh my God, Ultra Kill?
Yes.
Tenebre, Rosso, Sangue?
No. I know the game, but I don't think I know the music from it. Because Ultra Kill is very Doom inspired, right?
Yeah, boomer shooter. Yeah, it's great. Listen to this. It's gonna blow your mind. I don't know. I don't think it's prog metal, but it's cool.
I mean, what is prog metal these days?
I don't know.
Oh,
yeah.
This is Tubular Bells again.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. There's your double.
Fuck yeah.
But I love the organ inclusion, though.
Yeah, this is such like Norwegian metal.
Okay, yeah, fair.
God damn.
Yeah, it crunches.
What I like as well is that it's old school metal.
Yes. You're not the first person to say that. It's like mosh metal.
We're going up, we're going down, we're climbing stairs.
Yeah. You mean because it's like mosh metal, or like because
It's just the types of like thrash metal. Like you don't hear a lot of this type of metal anymore. It's not like the metal that's popular. It's very like Iron Maiden, Slayer, like old school, especially mixed with like an organ. That's so cool.
It's very special. Tenebre, Rosso, Sangue is an epic track. And then the very last track I wanted to play is actually from a mobile game. Now, hear me out. I actually...
Okay, well, it was cool hanging out. I have to go.
No, I just want to play Narwahl. That's it. I didn't realize how much good music was in these games. Like, obviously, yes, there are deeply problematic issues with monetization, of course, but
Doesn't mean they can't have good music.
and like, thing is, like, even Uma Musume, like the same composer that I played for you from Ace Combat, wrote gorgeous, like they're like sweeping orchestral themes in Uma Musume as a random example. But like, so I discovered, do you like EDM?
Yeah, enough. It wouldn't be my go-to, but I mean, I'm European, so it's kind of like built into you.
Yeah, I suppose so. Well, so I discovered Narwahl from this random game called Punishing Gray Raven, and I used to really look down on like mobile games on the whole. But like, I just want to play like literally just like 2 seconds of it, just to give you a taste of it. Let me just fast forward to like the middle. That's what I'm saying.
God damn!
You just don't think it's gonna be like this.
This is straight out of the 90s.
Yeah.
Like early 2000s, like scooter kind of shit. Like, that's so cool.
Yeah, mobile games. Who knew?
It's also like, I can't imagine where this possibly plays in the middle of this game.
It's during a fight sequence between a mechanical centaur and basically
A fight sequence between you and your wallet. It's like, where's my money?
oh god, it's gone. Anyway, again, I can't thank you enough. I hope that you've had a good time. Just like, you know,
I mean, I don't think I would still be here 2.5 hours in if I wasn't having a good time. I had a great time. This is fun.
what was this like for you? Was it like do you well, you already said that you sit down and think about, you know, the ins and outs of music. It was just, this was kind of just reaffirming that, huh? Just like,
Yeah, I mean, it's the type of thing that I don't think I'd ever really get to talk about anywhere else. Music to me in general is just such a big part of my life, especially growing up and playing metal all the time and going to school and listening to music. And it's just so ingrained to me to like listen to music and make music and imitate music with drums and everything that whenever I hear good pieces of music in games, again, it's transcendental. It goes beyond language barriers. It goes beyond age. It's just like, if a good piece of music hits you, it really hits you. And I'm really glad that I am an emotional person, and I do get very emotional listening to music. Like there's a Danish orchestra, I think, on YouTube that do a Bloodborne medley.
Yes.
Every single time I listen to that, I cry at the end of it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I saw Final Fantasy music live. We saw the Final Fantasy X stuff live, and me and my girlfriend were crying watching it. And I'm glad that I have that connection to music that, again, even if you can't explain it, I always try, but even if you can't, like just something that hits you like right in the guts, that makes you feel something. I'm a sucker for like sound design and sound engineering and like the actual sound effects and the quality of all that stuff when it comes to it. But soundtracks are part of that. And I think there's such an overlooked aspect of why games are so good. Obviously these days people like them a lot more, but even back in the day of playing Final Fantasy IX, it's like, the soundtrack's good, but no one else is talking about that.
Yeah. Yeah,
so
it's weird.
I just love music.
Yeah, I know. I feel you. One of the things that I always was really entranced by, I sort of, when with singing and with singing with like lyrics and stuff, is that oftentimes music, it's really hard, I think, for in general to put to words what something makes you feel. And music is that thing that like, it kind of takes emotion from like here and like puts it like sort of in this region. And and I always loved how even with singing, like with words, you can kind of, when we stretch and elongate words, we can kind of pull apart like what it means to say I miss you, or I love you, or I care, or what the fuck, like you can there's you can kind of pull and tease that emotion out. And you really can't. Words are so hard with emotions. It's really difficult.
Yeah, it becomes almost like a tangible thing that you can like touch or feel or see. Or I always get recommended the same sort of like reel or TikTok or whatever it is, that it's like a guy playing cello and then there's a teacher with him and he's like, okay, on this note, and I just go like, and he's like, now drag it out, and like this thing is growling at you. Like, that's what it's about. That like, it's speaking, it's saying something.
Yeah, that's the guy I told you about that inspired me to start the channel.
Really?
Yeah, that guy.
Oh,
with the
damn, full circle.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But it is an incredible like video to just show what a master of that craft is. The technical versus the artistic. A lot of people can sing, a lot of people can like make music, a lot of people, but that's what I mean. Like, what does it mean though? What are you saying? Right. If you're making a movie, like what are your actors doing? What's the themes? Where are we going with this? Like, I want something to stick with me. I don't want to just hear it and then be like, yeah, that's fine.
That's good. Cool. Yeah, absolutely. Well, listen, thank you so much. And thank you everybody for watching this. And I hope you
Thank you. Hopefully it was interesting.